What's going on, everybody? Thanks for tuning in. My name's Chase, and this is That Sounds Terrible. Today's episode, we're going to take a look at the first version of the prototype that comes from the brilliant mind from Shay over at ThisHeavyEarth. Originally, I had asked Shay about a style of this pedal a little over a year ago, and it's just like a concept, something to come out, something different. What would he be interested in it? And lo and behold, he actually was kind of receptive to it. So this is his brainchild. I had nothing to do with it, but it doesn't even have a name yet. Kind of get the light to reflect a little bit for you. This, I believe, is the concept art. I don't think this is the final version. It is killer, though. Absolutely killer. But there is more options on this than I think he has on a lot of his pedals. I think this one takes the cake for the amount of options. There's no official name for this. I don't know if I said that yet, but I'm super excited for this pedal. This is probably going to be, this might be what takes down my love for the Grimm 3 or the Grimm series, really. So this is, I'm going to call it the Klon Wars. So based on that, if you don't already know, and by the picture, this is going to be Shay's take on the infamous Klon circuit. Now, on the outside, we'll start there because there's a lot going on. We have level, low, and gain. Then we have tone, high, and clean. All right, so that's what we can control on the first version on the outside. Again, this is not production. There are going to be some changes along the way at some point before it's officially released. But Shay was really cool and allowed me to do a public video on this. So we're just going to talk about what we know on this pedal. Now, on the inside, we have several switches. I'll probably just take a picture and post it so that you guys can kind of see what's going on. But there is two different types of clipping. We have the standard Klon Germanium clipping, and then we have red LEDs that we can switch between. So that's really neat. We've also got two bright switches. We have a mid-shift switch. We have two bass boost switches, or bass increase, or however you want to call it. We also have a gain mod. We have an attack knob, and then we also have a gain trim pot, or a gain knob as well on the inside. So we have two trim pots and a whole boatload of switches. Now, I'm a Klon purist, I guess you could say. I love the Klon circuit. I'm a big fan of it. To me, it's my ultimate pedal. Doesn't have to be the original Klon because I'm not paying $5,000 or $6,000 for a pedal. I do have a Klon KTR, and I've compared this to the Klon KTR, and I can tell you it's spot on so far. It's a really good take. There are some things that could be done differently. Shay and I have talked about it, so we'll see what happens. All right, so let's talk about just kind of the overall concept of how this is going to function. So we have a tone and a high and a clean on the outside here. All right, now the tone is going to affect everything from the gain side. The high is going to affect everything on your clean signal. So with the clean blend, you can dial in how much of that clean signal you have. So if you run it, if I'm understanding this correctly, and Shay may correct me because I'm an idiot when it comes to this, but say you have the gain at 1 o'clock and you have the clean blend at 1 o'clock, that would be comparison to where the Klon and the KTR would work. They run in unison. All right. So if you run the gain at 3 o'clock and you set that to 3 o'clock, that's what it would be on the Klon. But the cool part being separate like that is that you can dial the gain to whatever setting and you're clean to whatever setting. So I enjoy that feature a lot because that allows you more flexibility with this style of circuit. So on the inside is where it gets a little crazy. So we have a bright circuit or a bright switch, and that's with the gain circuit and one with just the clean circuit. So mid shift controls both of them. It's kind of where the mids are sitting that it's being pushed. Then on the bass, it is the same thing. So you have a low, and then you also have the bass boost. So you can actually add more low end to the gain side or to the clean side. And then you can just adjust your low from there. However, one thing that I noticed is that this thing has a boatload of low end. So that may be addressed going forward. Let's talk about the gain knob. So there is a gain trim pot on the inside here. I have this turned all the way down. I don't know if there's too much. Maybe it's just the way I run Klon pedals, or maybe it's the way I think and use the style pedal. But I like to run the gain high on a Klon pedal. I usually run it about 1, 2 o'clock is my preferred settings. So with the gain on the inside, it can really blow out a circuit extremely quick. Some guys prefer that, and that's okay. If you're going to do that, you're going to want to turn the inside trim pot up. You're definitely going to want to lower the external trim, if not turn it all the way down. Then the attack. Now I have the attack set to about halfway. I don't fully know how much is really being dialed. I don't know if it's on the gain side or if it's on the clean side. So the happy middle road for me was setting it up the middle. Now there is a gain mod. I don't know a whole lot about it, so I have it turned off. I've played with it on both ways, and I've also played with the clipping from the red LED or the germanium. I prefer the germanium. That's the purist in me as well. Overall, it's a really cool setup. So I'm going to turn the gain switch on for this. I have it set to germanium. I have the bright switch on my clean channel. I have the mid shift in the down position. Both bass switches are in off, and I will tend to roll the bass knob to about 9 o'clock. I'll start there with that. I'm going to set the clean blend. Everything else will be off. So the gain is down, the clean is down, level, and everything else will be up the middle. We'll start there. All right, you guys, today we are going to be using my 2019 PRS CE. Figured this was kind of a middle of the road guitar as far as output pickups. I didn't want to put something too high gain, and I didn't want anything too low gain. So kind of the middle of the road, at least that's what I feel. So we're also going to be going into my Victory Super Kraken. You can see it on here. We're going into gain 1, and I have it set to the crunch channel. The gain is at about 11 o'clock, 10, 11 o'clock. So we'll have a clean tone or a bass tone. And then we'll kick the pedal on and tweak the knobs, and we'll see what we can get out of it. All this is going into my Mojotone ISO cab, which is loaded with my Jensen Raptor 100 and my Jensen Nighthawk 75, mic'd up with 2 Shure SM57s. there you have it, everybody. That is the original prototype for, I guess the Clone Wars. I don't know what the name is yet. Shay hasn't really come up with a name. So post in the comments below maybe some clever names for the upcoming pedal. Again, I don't know the release date. It is not official yet when that is going to go into production. So this is the first iteration of that prototype. So anyways, tell me in the comments below what you guys thought. This thing is super fun to play with, and I'm going to send this out to my buddy Sean at Truck Driver Sean. So I'm going to let him borrow it and get his opinions on it as well. And I'm sure he'll feed it back into Shay. So tell me what you thought overall, and I'll see you in the next one.